So Vanguard just announced share splits on 5 of its absolutely biggest equity ETFs, and my feed has been full of people either panicking about it or getting irrationally excited about it. Neither reaction is warranted, right? A share split is one of the most misunderstood events in investing. It changes absolutely nothing about what you own, but for option sellers and income investors specifically, there's a big nuance here that's really worth understanding, because the post-split price on some of these ETFs opens up strategies that simply weren't accessible at all before. So let's break this down cleanly, okay? On March 24th, Vanguard announced forward share splits for 5 equity index ETFs. The splits are effective April 21st, 2026, and here's the lineup. First, we got VOOG, 6-for-1 split. MGK, we also have a 5-for-1 split. We have VOOG, which is going to be a 6-for-1 split. We have VO, a 4-for-1 split. And we also have VGT, which is going to be an 8-for-1 split. The record date is April 17th. Shares start trading at their new, split adjusted price on April 21st. What that means practically, if you own 1 share of VGT today, so let's say for $6.40, after the 8-for-1 split, you'll own 8 shares at roughly $80 each. Same total value, nothing changed about what you own or what it's worth. And Vanguard's stated rationale is accessibility, keeping share prices in trading ranges that work for, a broader set of investors. And that's legitimate. When a share price starts to climb into, the hundreds or thousands of dollars, it can create a lot of friction for smaller accounts trying to build positions incrementally. The split obviously resolves that, but the more interesting question, the one that nobody's asking, is what does this mean for options markets on these ETFs? And that's where things get a lot more relevant for us. So let me give you the framework first, right? A share split does not change the fundamental value of what you actually hold, okay? Your portfolio value is going to be identical the day before and the day after. There are no tax consequences. Vanguard was explicit about this in the announcement. This is a mechanical event, not an economic one. Where it matters is accessibility and option strategy. 2 related but distinct points. On accessibility, many smaller accounts, they couldn't easily run option strategies on ETFs priced at $300, $400, $600 a share, right? Literally a standard options contract controls 100 shares, right? You know that. At $640 per share for, let's say, VGT, 1 cash secured put would require $64K in collateral. That is a meaningful barrier for a lot of investors. At the post-split price of roughly $80 per share, that same contract now requires only $8,000 in collateral. That is a completely different conversation now. On options mechanics, after the split, the existing options contracts, they will be adjusted by the exchanges to reflect the new share count and price. So if you already hold options positions in any of these ETFs, your contracts, they will be adjusted. They won't be canceled. They're not going to be repriced at your expense. The economic value of your position is going to be completely preserved. But new options chains will open at the lower price points, and that's where the opportunity starts to expand. If you're new here and want to see exactly how I run covered calls, cash secured puts on ETFs like these, including my position sizing calculators, my full trade log templates that I literally use every single day, the link for that workshop will be down below in the description. It's for our Ark Options workshop, completely free to attend, amazing mechanics and strategy, okay? So let me walk through each ETF and why it's worth paying attention to post-split. VOOG, right? We got our 6-for-1. VOOG holds large cap growth companies, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, or some of its top holdings, right? It's a broad growth exposure vehicle with over $150 billion AUM. So pre-split, VOOG was trading, let's say somewhere between 380 and 400 range. Post-split, you're looking at approximately 65 a share. Now, for the wheel strategy, VOOG becomes a viable covered call candidate for accounts that couldn't justify a pre-split price. If you're already holding, let's say, VOOG as part of your, growth allocation, selling covered calls on top of it, post-split is now way more accessible at much lower capital threshold. MGK, right? That's their mega cap growth ETF, 5-for-1. MGK is more concentrated than VOOG. It focuses specifically on the largest growth companies, which means obviously it has heavier weighting in the, the Mag 7 names that we all know. Pre-split price, 340, 360 range, post-split approximately 70 $1.70 a share, right? The concentration in mega cap tech means MGK tends to carry higher IV, higher implied volatility than the broader market fund. Higher implied volatility means way richer options premiums. And that's relevant for anyone considering covered calls on this position post-split. Next, we got VOOG, right? This is our S&P 500 growth ETF, 6-for-1, tracks the growth segments of the S&P 500. Think of it as the growth half of the index, right? Companies with usually higher price to earnings, price to book ratios, pre-split price around 420, let's say, post-split approximately 70. For option sellers, VOOG is interesting because it sits between the pure growth concentration of like an MGK and the full index exposure of the VOO. You get meaningful premium potential without the full volatility profile of each pure tech ETF. VO, this is their mid-cap ETF, 4-for-1. VO is the outlier in this group. It's a mid-cap fund, not a growth fund. Pre-split price, let's say around 260, post-split around 65. Mid-cap stocks as a category have honestly historically offered an interesting balance of growth and potential stability compared to both, large cap and small cap. VO, well diversified, across sectors, which, makes it, typically a lower volatility than, the growth-focused ETFs that we're seeing in this announcement. Premiums will be quieter on VO, but, for conservative accounts looking for, wheel-eligible ETFs with broad diversification, the post-split price makes it a lot more approachable. And then VGT, this is their IT ETF, 8-for-1. VGT is one that gets my attention the most from an options perspective. It's a pure technology sector fund. We got obviously Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Broadcom, pretty much the rest of the semiconductors or, software ecosystem, pre-split VGT, let's just say around 640, 8-for-1 split brings the down to around $80. That's the most dramatic price reduction of the five, all right? And it unlocks the options market on VGT for a much wider range of account sizes. The technology sector ETFs carry some of the highest implied volatility among broad market equity funds, and that translates directly to richer put and call premiums. Pre-split, VGT was simply inaccessible for most individual option sellers on a per contract basis without, tying up any tremendous amount of capital. Post-split, that changes obviously. I want to be clear here. I'm not saying to run the wheel on VGT as a primary strategy. Technology ETFs can move sharply in both directions, and the wheel works best on businesses or funds that you'd genuinely want to own through assignment. But if VGT is already part of your portfolio, the post-split price makes covered calls honestly a lot more of a realistic consideration where they really weren't before. So let's talk about what happens to existing options contracts. So one thing worth knowing if you're already running options on any of these ETFs is the exchange will mechanically adjust your existing contracts after the split, right? The strike prices and the number of shares per contract will be updated to reflect the new share count, okay? Your economic position is unchanged. You don't need to close and reopen anything at all. New options chains at the post-split strike levels will also become available, and those will be more liquid markets going forward. You're going to see that, right? So here's the big takeaway. Share splits, they're administrative events, right? They literally don't change fundamentals at all. They don't create or destroy value, but they do change accessibility. And in the options market, accessibility translates directly to what strategies, are available at what capital levels, right? For option sellers, income investors, and smaller or mid-sized accounts, this post-split pricing on VGT in particular represents a really meaningful expansion of what's going to be possible. A fund that previously required, $60K plus per contract to sell puts on now requires around $8,000. That opens the door for accounts that were literally previously completely shut out. For larger accounts that were already running, let's say, covered calls on these sorts of ETFs, this split is going to be mostly mechanical for you. Your adjusted contracts will reflect the new price structure, right? The underlying economics of your position, they're not going to change at all. The broader lesson is this: when you see news like this, the first question to ask isn't, what does this mean for the stock price? Because the answer is almost always nothing, right? The right question is, does this change what's accessible to me strategically? In this case, for option sellers, income investors with smaller account sizes, the answer is a big yes. So here's how I'm personally thinking about this, right? I'm obviously going to be watching VGT and MGK the most closely post-split. Both are ETFs I'd consider holding as part of my growth allocation, and both carry enough implied volatility to make really covered calls honestly a lot more meaningful, right? The post-split pricing makes running those strategies at reasonable position sizes possible in a way that really wasn't before. VO is worth also a look for a more conservative account. It's not a high premium environment at all, but it's a solid diversified fund at an accessible price for most people. So if you're building a wheel strategy around, like, let's say quality broad market exposure rather than, pure premium chase and generation, VO fits that description well. And what I'm not going to do is treat the split announcement itself as a signal. That's the last thing I'm doing. The price is lower after the split. The value is still identical. Anyone who buys VGT the day after the split because the number looks cheaper is making an error. What matters is the underlying business exposure, right? The options premium environment and whether the position fits your personal overall income architecture, because it's always the same process. It's just literally a different price. That's it. So that's the Vanguard split announcement. 5 big ETFs effective April 21st, and what it actually means for us income investors and option sellers. Nothing changes about your existing holdings and their value. The opportunity is in what the new price levels unlock for in the options markets, particularly, at least for me, VGT and MGK, where premiums have been historically pretty solid. 2 questions I have for you. Drop them in the comments. 1, are you currently holding any of these 5 ETFs, and are you running covered calls on top of them at all? And number 2, which one interests you the most post-split from an options perspective or an income perspective, and why? Drop it below. And if this is the kind of practical breakdown is useful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Every day I'm putting out content just like this. No hype, no promises, just the mechanics of building a real income-focused portfolio. And if you want to go deeper on how to actually run the wheel strategy on individual stocks, on ETFs like these, the strike selection process, the collateral math, the trade lock templates, come over to the Ark Options Workshop. It'll be the first link in the description of today's video. It's free. You'll leave with tools and training that you can start using immediately. Remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.